All right, and welcome to Couple of Instigators. I have Jen.
Hey.
And I have Ashley.
Hello, hello.
Hello. I've met Ashley on a message board, and she is funny and smart, so that's all I need. And I'll let you guys know if she's really funny later. We'll make that decision. But I have not been funny in a long time, and I'm struggling. You know, I do stand up, and I got asked to do outdoor comedy show Friday at 7, and I had to turn it down because I don't know if I can make it. They want me to open. There's no way. I don't know what to work because Friday nights are bad. But that, and it's 100 out. My fat ass is not getting up on any stage in 100-degree weather and telling some freaking jokes, okay? But
I know it's outdoors, but at the same time, I feel like laughing is like usually the best medicine, but also the worst thing you could do during COVID. Like you're just projecting droplets left and right. So maybe stop. Comedy.
Yeah. Well, listen, I am in central New York. I am as far upstate as you can possibly get. And our COVID cases, it's you know, and you guys are in pretty good shape down in the city.
We're in great shape. I'm hoping it holds. But yeah, you guys have definitely been setting the example up there.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm not a fan of Cuomo. But I have to say, you know, he's done pretty good. I don't want my girlfriend to hear me say that. She's not, doesn't really care for Cuomo. But Jen is still shut down in Toronto.
Right now till next Tuesday or Wednesday. And then they said yesterday they're trying to push it through till the 24th. But they're also going to push through a bill to shut it down for a year. What? Because, not totally shut down, but they're having an issue with they keep extending it like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So they want to do this and then do it for a year and then open places up as it's safe. So instead of having to like go to court and have it extended every couple of weeks.
Oh, so okay. Well, do you guys have a lot of cases there?
No, we're down we're sitting around 200 a day for the province.
That's not.
Did you say you're in Toronto? I feel like you're in a similar position to us, where once things start to open up, we're gonna become a hub. You know, it's just a very central location. So I think it makes sense to kind of keep the rules more stringent in cities like ours.
That's what they're trying to, I think, save it from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
did you see Trump invited Trudeau down to visit the other day?
Right. And he's like, oh, hell no.
Right? He wanted to have a party to celebrate the Mexican treaty thing. So the Mexican president, he's en route right now. He's going. Trudeau's like, yeah, no, sorry. I'm not going.
Read the room. Read the room.
Trump finally got his way. The Mexican border shut down and was like, stay the fuck out to the Americans. Right? All along, the Arizona, like all through there.
Everywhere. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, how does it feel being American and totally locked down? Out of everything that people are talking about wearing their masks and all this crap, nobody's freaking out that you're literally not allowed to leave your country.
You know, it's funny.
I mean, in New York, we haven't been able to leave our living rooms for so long that it just makes me feel kind of safe, honestly. I mean, here in New York, there are maybe 14 states, I think, on the list now where you have to quarantine for 2 weeks before you come into the city. I have no idea how they're enforcing that. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But there was a great story in Honolulu. They did something similar towards the beginning of the pandemic. And this guy showed up and gave an address where he would be quarantining and then posted to Instagram from the beach. And somehow the Honolulu police got wind of this and actually sent him back to the mainland U.S. for not quarantining. So I don't really see Cuomo pulling that off. But
I mean, I know, and I'll tell you, one of the kids that works for me, she goes to school in Arizona, and she's a D1 lacrosse player. So I guess her season is pretty much probably not going to happen right now, but she's going back early like she would be playing. You know what I mean? It's her last year. So she's leaving in 2 weeks for Arizona State. And then she's got to come back in August for a wedding. So she's going to have to, I'm like, well, like, I don't know.
Can
like,
you warn me next time you say the W word? Can you warn me? Because my wedding was supposed to be July 25th.
Oh!
I'm a COVID bride or unbride.
Yeah, I have two of my friends' kids had to cancel too. Yeah. So what are you going to do, Ashley?
Ooh, that's a great question. Every time we have a moment to kind of think about it and talk about it, we're like, maybe we should get married on a stoop. Maybe our friend's roof. Maybe we'll invite no one. Maybe, it's just, I have no clue. I mean,
you haven't rescheduled?
We canceled. Unfortunately, our caterer decided to keep half of our deposit.
Oh.
Even though it's like pandemic crisis, clearly we can't have a wedding.
Yeah.
But
if we use them, would they use that money towards a new date?
The thing is, they would allow us to reschedule and use the money. But here in Brooklyn, there's really no timetable for when a reception could ever happen.
Yeah, my friend's rescheduled for next year.
Yeah, and also, the economy is so weird right now that I think a lot of people who are planning to have a wedding this year are now thinking twice about maybe putting all of that money into that day. Yeah. So we were kind of like, let's just keep it small and see how things go. So they kept the deposit. The weirder thing is that I really wanted to do like a mismatched vintage plate thing for the reception. It's like this one thing that I had in my head from the very beginning. So now I have 150 mismatched vintage dinner plates under my bed.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Lots of silverware. If anyone needs a fork, I've got you.
Too funny. Well, I'm ordained. If you want to do like a little Zoom wedding, 100% I will do it. That's definitely been on the list for like, do we do Zoom? We like reached out to a local newscaster at one point. We're like, will you marry us? We don't know what to do. My wedding dress is like one of the things that I had settled really early. I got it from a company that I love that's very sustainable. And then, in the past few weeks, they were one of the companies that like the racist alarm bells started going off and all of their employees started outing them as Reformation. And like their CEO stepped aside and it was this whole controversy. And I was like, I can't get married in this racist dress. Are you kidding me? Like, are you for real? So I DM'd them and I was like, hey, found out that you were racist after I bought my wedding dress. Haven't worn it yet. Can I return it? They were like, yeah, sorry, we're racist. Oh, good.
Oh.
Yeah, so at least I'm getting that refund.
Maybe you should look better into the caterer, see if he's got any skeletons in his closet.
I know. Maybe if a few fall out, we'll get our money back one day.
That's crazy.
Oh, my gosh. Well, yeah, so the two people that I know, they rescheduled for like next year, like next May and, stuff like that. So, but they already got married. They couldn't wait. Yeah,
I'm sure we'll have a party.
Purposes, they had to like legally get married. So my one friend's daughter just started her residency in medical school, and she doesn't have insurance right now, so she needed to marry.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're already married, both of them. And then my other friend's kid is in the military, so he got stationed in, I forget where, but in order to bring her, they had to be married. So they're legally married anyway.
Yeah.
It's just
I think it'll still happen this summer. It's just still a mystery how. It might even be a surprise to me. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But hoping to get married.
Yeah. So, Ashley, you have not done, obviously, any of the public transportation, right?
None of that. Yeah, we're lucky to have a car to zip around in.
Okay, so you're going to Brooklyn. You're in Brooklyn, right? So you can.
We're in Brooklyn. We're in an area, in a neighborhood where we have parking, although that hasn't always been the case. Yeah. But my fiance's grandparents left him this little Toyota that, it gets us out of town and it gets us off the train, which has been a really helpful during this.
Yeah, one of my daughter's best friends all through school lives in Brooklyn, and it starts with a W.
Williamsburg?
Yeah, that's it. And she has parking, like, for her car on the street, like she can find it. So, yeah, I have a couple friends that live in Brooklyn. They don't have cars. So
no, our last apartment, the parking was so bad in that neighborhood, which is only 20 blocks south of here. But if we got home after a certain time, we would literally have to drive like a half mile into the local cemetery to park and then walk back to our apartment. So the car thing, it's tricky here.
So how long have you been there?
In Brooklyn? I've been in Brooklyn now for, I think, 6 years, but I was born and raised in New York City.
You are? Okay, so you've always been there. So you don't know anything different.
Although I used to spend my summers up by you.
Oh, you did?
Outside of Rochester, yeah. When I was a kid, I used to spend my summers up in Hamlin with my cousins.
That's right. You were going to send them to get some pickle pizza. So
Absolutely.
And it's beautiful in Hamlin. The beaches there are very pretty.
Yeah, it's so idyllic, and they're so close to the beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very nice there. For me, I've been in Rochester my whole life. I live like in the city though, like right outside of the city, but I could never live in New York City. I don't know I'm just too old. I am too old to be tramping up and down them streets. It's 100 degrees. When you get in, I'm blowing black dirt out of my nose, from the streets and the like.
Well, we're all wearing face masks now.
Now now's the way to go. But yeah, I always say that about that. So let's get into a little bit of the Black Lives Matter stuff, because I'm always looking, here's a young woke girl.
Yeah, I think that what feels like needing to be more worried or cancel culture is actually kind of people who have been in a more privileged position experiencing what marginalized people have experienced for a long time, which is really just being held accountable. A lot of times Black people are held accountable for each other's actions, which is really senseless. And being politically correct is a way to phrase it that kind of makes it easy to dismiss. But I think what people are really saying is, does this take into consideration that there are a lot of different experiences to being a human being? And if you're an entertainer and you want to reach people, I would think that you'd want to reach as many people as possible.
Right. Absolutely.
So that feels like the way to do it. And listen, there's a lot, you can have every kind of humor without punching down and being terribly insulting. So,
absolutely.
And all the time. Yeah.
Right. A lot of the jokes that are about me, but and things change so fast. And I mean, being a lesbian, I'm like, it was just LBGT. That was it. And and then the Q, you know what I mean? And they keep adding letters. And I'm always just like, man, I can't remember all this. You're killing me. But I have to look it all up, what it means. And, even in my community, I tell lesbian jokes. I call myself a dyke. I'm like, somebody gets offended. You know what I mean? It kind of brings the whole, the punchline of that particular story. But,
I think that makes perfect sense.
I can't make everybody happy. I can't make everybody happy when I'm doing stand-up. And in life, I just need to be explained. I'm going to give you an example of how I got woke. Okay?
Oh boy.
Here, yeah, because